Hi, Russ here. Welcome back to my shop. Well, I did it. If you watched my last video, you saw that T-bar, adjustable T-bar that I mounted on my workbench on the other end down there. And I used it to hold my vise. I also can use it for a hold fast on my workbench to hold pieces down. You have to go back and watch that video. Let me show you what I'm kind of talking about so you can refresh your memory. If you look at this end of the bench, this is that little tripod that I showed you. Comes from the material handling industry, and it's just a tube in a tube, so you can adjust the height of it and lock it down. And what it's for is for skate wheel conveyors. You can set them on top, and you can adjust the height to adjust your conveyor to put it on an incline. And they're very popular, and like I said, they're different sizes. And I cut the legs off, mounted a couple of brackets on it, so that I could mount it here. And this one in particular, you saw when I mounted it last time. And I've got my Xylus on here, so I can actually adjust the height of the work on this vise. I can actually turn it any direction I want. So it makes it really adjustable. And I have a couple other things that I did with that I showed you. You have to go back and watch that video to see the whole thing. But we took this to the next level, of course. So, what did I do? I have two more of them. So what I did at this end of my workbench is I have taken and mounted two more of these. And on this one, these, I cut them off so that they're more like L-shaped instead of T-shaped. And that's so that I don't have all of this in my way as I'm trying to use it. This is my working end of this thing. So now, what do I do with that? Having two of them. Well, let's take a look. If you take a piece of wood and you want to hold it down, I can put it in there. And lock that down without any problem, good and tight, and hold it down. I'm using two instead of just one hold fast to hold that down if I want. The beauty of that is that I can also take, let's say instead of that, I want to hold something a little longer. I can take and put and there we go, locked down good and tight again. So I can put pretty much any size board in here now, and they're easy to take out. You just loosen the locks and they're back out of your way. So these make great hold down on my workbench, and there's a lot of different things you can do with it. So what else can you do? Well, I'm still thinking of new things, but the reason I mounted these two here at this end of the vise of the workbench, if you remember, this is where my mini workbench used to sit. I had legs onto it that I had built, and I would drop bench dogs down through their legs into the bench dog holes, and that held it in place. So I could lift it off and put it back. Kind of heavy and a little bulky to move around and to store. So I actually have improved it. Now, with these, all I have to do is, if I want to use my mini workbench, I can just get it out, set this to a specific height, and I can set this to any height I want. I can do it with any kind of spacer pre-made. Put a spacer in there, lock it down, go to the other side, lock it down, and now I can take my workbench, put it up here, and I now have my workbench that I can work from. I don't have a hold down system yet. I'm still working on that, but I'm not sure how I want to do it. Something quick and easy and simple. But basically, once I get this thing locked down on here, this thing is really rock solid. And if I want this thing to not even vibrate at all, I can take another piece and put it like right here on the underside between my workbench and my mini bench. Drop this down to where that's contacting. Then lock these two back down, and then have a 3-point hold down on my bench instead of just the two. And all the vibration transfer goes through this board then into this workbench, and this bench becomes very solid. And it's more than solid enough. Watch, I can do it. Watch me do a handstand up here. No, I'm not going to do that. The wood yogi, I am not. So, but it does hold your weight, trust me. So, anyway, but that's just the beginning. If I want, instead of having this hanging out over my bench here, I can actually take it and mount it this way. And now I can take my workbench with the legs off of it. This is just much easier to manhandle and put away and not have it in my way when I don't need it. So this is going to be much nicer. And I can clamp it out here this way. Now I still have my full workbench, and this is actually hanging out over instead. So this is just another way I can use it. And my vise on this bench is right here. Put it on the end. If I wanted to, I can just as easily put it on this way and fasten it down. And now my vise is on this end instead of that end. So it has a lot of capabilities of being able to mount it too. And I can mount it more toward one end if I want, that type of thing. So there's lots of things that I can do with this to mount it and make it very versatile. But that's how it all works. I like the feature of the mini workbench now, because now I can take that on and off in just a few seconds, have it out of my way, and I can use these for other things if I'm not using my mini bench and I just want to hold down. So this is going to be an even more useful area for my workstation to work. And rather whether the bench is out here or up here, I still have pretty good access to all my clamps and stuff and reaching them. So the bench will be able to be worked up here and be able to put it in several different type of positions, as well as the height. So it's really going to work out well. I like this a lot. I think it's going to work out very well for me. So anyway, that's where I'm at. Wanted to show you how I can now have an adjustable height mini bench on top of everything else. Great little accessory. If you want to make these, it's easy enough to do. You can weld up your own pipes. If you have any questions about how to do all that, just give me a quick holler. I don't do welding here, so I just went the easy way by having these. I already had these made up. But they're easy enough to make. And if you need some guidance on that, I can kind of help you if you want. So just leave comments about it. If you have any ideas or suggestions about other things, leave them below in the comments. Love to hear about it. So don't forget to like this video. I think I deserve a like this time. So anyway, most importantly though, please come back again because we're nowhere near done. Thanks, and hopefully we'll see you again very soon.